Hello, Critical Blasters. RJ Carter here. Halloween is upon us, and every place in the country has its own unique tradition for celebrating the holiday. Some are scary, some are fun, some are a mix of both. Here in St. Louis, we have the tradition known as the Dave Glover Halloween Show. And the Dave Glover Halloween Show takes all the fun of 364 days of the year and in one day shoves it all into one of the creepiest haunted places in St. Louis area for an investigation unlike any you've seen on any other channel. The EVPs that come from these things are phenomenal. The experiences people have here, physical manifestations, defy belief. This year, they're doing it again. And I was privileged to sit down with the cast of the show and have a talk with them about how they pick their places and what they're expecting out of this one. We hope you enjoy it. Welcome, Critical Blasters. This is RJ Carter, and I am interviewing the cast of the #1 rated talk show in St. Louis, The Dave Glover Show. Folks, if you could introduce yourself to our audience.
Mark Close.
Dave Glover.
Rachel Zimmerman.
Tony Colombo.
Sorry, I skipped you there.
And we are preparing for what has become a tradition in St. Louis, which is the annual Dave Glover Show Halloween Show. Dave, I understand this started with your fascination with the Don Knotts movie, The Ghost of Mr. Chicken. Can you elaborate a little?
American movie ever made. Yeah, when I was a little kid, I watched The Ghost of Mr. Chicken way too young, which has become a Glover family tradition. I did that to my kids too. And it was basically a guy that was a huge coward, spent the night in a haunted house. And in 2001, I said, well, let's do it. We have the Limp Mansion right here. Let's just do it. And we did it, and it was great. It was one of the best Halloween shows we ever did. And we didn't plan it. You never plan something to become like a dynasty, 17 years of it. But we did another one and another one and another one. Ended up going to the Exorcist house, and this year we're going to Mineral Springs in Alton, and it's turned into a thing.
All right, well, you're going to that place. That's what I was going to ask next. What's the inside baseball on this kind of thing? Tony, you're the promotions director. Do people submit places to you, and then you go through a process of picking one?
Actually, usually Dave or a group of us will, or listeners will submit ideas, but we usually decide where we're going to go ahead of time. So, but we get the ideas from all different places, from listeners, co-workers, our own experience, and
we're a lot less impressive than you think.
Yeah, then we drill in. Then we sort of drill in on where we're going to go from there. Yeah.
Okay. Dave, I got to interview you a couple of years ago for the Exorcist house on the phone.
Yeah.
And you described yourself then as a hopeful agnostic.
Yeah, still.
Having heard some of the results from your investigations, some EVPs you're sitting there listening to, did they say cranberry sauce or I buried Paula? I don't know.
Yeah.
You did one 2 years ago where you had to tell us that was the EVP voice because it was so clear. I literally thought you were saying, let's go to the basement, and Vicki Main was saying, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
What more kind of a proof do you need to get past the agnostic part of something supernatural?
I think I'm just a really strong agnostic about everything. And here's the deal. I don't necessarily believe in ghosts and spirits and demons, but I'm afraid of them. It's not like I can spend the night by myself at the cabin or go to the basement without getting, So, I say I don't believe, but my pulse would say different. And I have had a lot of different experiences at the Exorcist house, Tony, when we were setting up, and I heard not just a voice, I heard Tony's voice say Dave. He said it twice, and then I walked out because the sun was still up then, and Tony I could see him through the picture window, he was outside. So there have been a lot of things happen that were unexplainable. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a tough sell.
Okay. Mark, I know you're Catholic. Tony, you mentioned that you go to church. Rachel, I'm not sure about. You don't talk a lot about it, which is fine.
She's a snake handler.
Yeah.
Okay. Have any of you been counseled by clergy on why are you doing this? Are you messing with stuff?
The big one was, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say last year we had our seance, and I refused to touch the Ouija board or anything because I actually was raised extremely Christian, and I always knew don't do that. And well, even though I'm it's probably nothing, kind of like Dave, I'm just I'm still scared of it, and I'm still not going to do it. So, I mean, I haven't had clergy members, but I've had family members be like, please don't do this and this. If you're afraid, just leave.
Every year we
I
get those
absolutely
phone calls.
would.
Yeah.
Tony, your pastor?
Actually, not from my pastor, but from my mom, who is the church secretary at our church, has almost on a yearly basis called me and said, "Don't be messing with Ouija boards. Don't be poking this or that." And I'm not even sure she necessarily believes, but again, why? I think her thoughts are, why mess with it? Why take the risk?
Were you going to tell the story about Father Jeff?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
When we went to the exorcist house, Father Jeff, who is the priest when the priest and rabbi went there to give a blessing, and we're standing in the room where the exorcism happened, and we're all holding hands, and he's saying a prayer, and it was the worst prayer a priest ever said. It was just terrible. And then he got done, and he physically shivered, and said, "Some fucked up shit happened in this room," and he ran out. And I'll never forget, he was like fast walking down the sidewalk to his car. And I said, "You can't be possessed if you're a Christian, right?" And he didn't even look back. He goes, "Yes, you can. Oh, yeah." And he got in his car and he drove off. So, yeah.
Wow.
Dave has never been the same since.
Yes.
Head spins around, spits out pieces.
So, why did you pick this location? And what are your expectations of this year's
This year?
investigation? Yeah.
He really, well, I visited back in probably
Yeah.
2005 or 2006.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it didn't work out. And it just keeps coming up over and over again. Rach has been there a bunch.
Yeah.
Andrew actually lived there.
Yeah, I used to visit him there all the time when he and his wife lived in, they have like apartments in Mineral Springs Mall. And there were several times where I was there like by myself in a hallway. And I'm not a huge believer in ghosts. Like I said, it scares me, but it's not something I seek out and I'm like necessarily like super into. But I had moments where I would like just turn on my heel and walk in the opposite direction. Like, get me out of here. I'm getting a really weird vibe. So I'm excited to go to Mineral Springs Mall. It's creepy.
We do lots of different kinds of shows. And this one I view being more like the Limp Mansion, where it's just add water. You know, you have a creepy place with a long history. We're taking listeners again this year. And rather than having a plan, like last year when we went to the Fox, and it was, okay, we're going to go here, 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 and here. This one is just going to be way more free-ranging. Let's see what happens and just kind of go
And
from there.
don't you think those are always
Yeah.
the ones that the most happen at, like
Yeah.
when we don't know what to expect?
Absolutely.
It seems like that is the time that we get more evidence than not.
Okay. You guys been having a lot of success with selling tickets for your DGS live experience kind of thing.
Mhm.
Do you have any plans in the future for a DGS live Halloween show where you basically do it on stage with video and everything and then podcast it?
Become the Tim Bellwell thing?
I mean, you can. It's not in stone, but we've been talking about doing something similar to that in the future.
Yeah, not pure Halloween or ghost, but definitely paranormal. And doing an investigation I wanted to do for a really long time, and then doing a live event where we have fun, band plays and stuff, but then for like 45 minutes we roll out the evidence. So yeah, it's funny you mentioned that.
Cool. Awesome. The show will be podcast this year. Can you tell people where they can find it for people who are outside St. Louis?
You can go to 971talk.com/Glover. That has all of our podcasts on it. And then we also are on iTunes. So just search the
people
Dave
can
Glover
go
Show podcast.
to 971talk.com/Halloween, right?
Yes,
And it
yes.
has 17 years of the shows.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
make sure you do that. When you go to our website, go to 971talk.com/Halloween and go back and look at every year. We've got pictures and audio and video from all of our investigations, particularly the first Exorcist House one is just amazing.
Yeah.
Our times at the pit. There's just some really cool. If you're
2
into
years ago,
paranormal, but really
I
cool
was
stuff.
the co-host of this Discovery Channel show called Exorcist Live, which was awful. And
Destination America.
Destination America. And I was trying to sell his Discovery Tony. So, but a lot of people said that out of that 2-hour show, the very best part and the scariest part was our footage from the Exorcist house. When the girl was up there and the candle goes crazy and she screams bloody murder, and so
The
good
candle
stuff.
video from The Exorcist is my favorite piece of paranormal evidence that we've ever found.
Yeah.
So go look at it. Go to the Exorcist House investigation on our website, and you'll see the candle video, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Everybody believers, Mark, you...
He's the biggest skeptic of all of
Yeah.
us.
There's things that have happened. I guess this will be number 8 for me, number 7. Things happen. They're I'm not always buying. They're different. They're a little weird. I don't know if they're paranormal. But man, when people go with us, we've had take listeners and they flip out.
Then again, Mark's an alien. He doesn't know how humans react to things like ghosts. So, yeah.
I'm just glad you all come back from all of them and we're not watching the
Yeah.
Dave Glover Blair Witch found footage.
Yes, yes,
That's a good idea.
yes.